Hey, how's it going everyone? Today I've got a load of tech products that I want to share with you guys. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I think the last one I did was way back in June, back when I was in Melbourne. I'm currently in Sydney. I'm on the rooftop of my Airbnb and I'm traveling around. I've got some big travels coming up and I thought I'd run you through some tech products and give my thoughts on them. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Joe Allam. I'm an independent creative traveling around the world creating photography and video content through the likes of this YouTube channel and my blog and social media. So go and check out those videos as well after this one and you'll see all of the products that I'm about to use in those videos. Bit of a lengthy way of saying I make content. By the way, I am currently under the flight path towards Sydney Airport. So every now and then there may be a plane that comes along and cuts out, or it may just interrupt the whole video. So let's just roll with that. So the first product that I want to share with you today is a 3-axis stabilizer for mirrorless cameras. So this is the Crane by Zhiyun Tech. I think it's pronounced Zion, or it might be Zhiyun or Zhiyun. I'm not sure. It's a Chinese manufacturer and they produce this 3-axis stabilizer. This is a particular model for mirrorless cameras, but you can also get smaller ones for smartphones or for GoPro action camera style sizes. And I'm actually going to be producing some separate videos on this where I'm testing it to its fullest. I've already tried it a little bit in Melbourne and some shots in Bali whilst I was there. And since I've been in Sydney, I've also made a separate video. But essentially, this is a device that you pop your camera onto the front here, turn it on, and then you can get steady shots whilst you're filming. It feels pretty robust. It's an all solid metal enclosure. It's got batteries in here that just comes with a recharger. And you've even got this little joystick adjustment so you can actually position your camera into the exact place that you want when you're stabilizing your footage. Now they actually reached out to me and wanted to send this to me so that I could test it and make some videos. So the nature of this being a 3-axis stabilizer, that means you've got the 1, 2, and 3 axes that you can actually stabilize your footage. So your camera sits on this little spatula looking plate here and you can adjust your tilting, your horizon level and your panning. You've got separate modes on here so that you can have a nice smooth focus as you're following your camera movement around. You can have a fixed position so that you can hold it on a certain place. You can even do a selfie mode so that it will face you directly as you're holding it. And you have some other options that you can adjust your horizon level and keep everything else moving smooth. So this is a solid piece of gear. It's something I'm going to be testing out and using a lot in future videos. And I'm really looking forward to putting this to the test. The weight of it is kind of similar to that of a small tripod or a Joby GorillaPod, so it just slots into the side of my bag. Nice and easy. Do also get some funny looks when going through airport security with this. Everyone's kind of like, what the hell is this, mate? Eh? So yeah, just bear in mind that you may need to explain it when you go through security because it kind of does look a little bit like a baton or some sort of odd weapon. Just be careful when you go through. So one feature that I really like about the Zhiyun Crane is it actually comes with a hard case. Now I haven't got it with me here because I've actually shipped it back to London. It's literally too bulky for me to be traveling with, which is kind of ironic considering it's actually a traveling protecting case. But anyway, the case itself is a solid case similar to that of a hard shell that you may have for camera gear. And it just kind of fits in nicely. You've got some dedicated foam slots. And quite a nice addition that I was surprised to have. I actually unboxed this on my Facebook page, so you could see that if you go back through just a couple of months. It was early January when I received this, and you'll see the box there. So yeah, make sure you go and check out my video specific to the Zhiyun Crane. It'll be linked in the description below and also with a card up there. Following my video about the Lowepro ProTactic camera bag, Lowepro themselves actually got in touch with me and wanted to partner up and create some content and see if I could test out some gear. So, with all the traveling that I've got coming up, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to test out some of their water-based transportation bags. So they've sent to me the DryZone DF20 litre. Now this is a duffel bag specific for carrying your camera gear when you're in water-based environments. They say it's waterproof rated to like a heavy downpour, heavy covering, not so much for submerging your products in water. However, I have actually seen some videos online of people testing this upside down in kayaks and the gear still comes out dry. So I've got a lot of faith in this and I'm particularly going to be looking forward to using this when I'm in New Zealand. So doing a lot of boating activities and it's going to be a great peace of mind to have my camera gear in here whilst I'm on a boat or some other water adventure, and I could know that my gear is going to be safe and protected in here. So it's quite a simple mechanism really. You've got a couple of buckles either side of it. If we open these up, undo the handle and undo these straps, and it's a matter of unrolling the top, and when you open it up there's actually another bag in here, and you unzip this and you have a full arrangement of camera gear using the known dividers that you have in all other camera bags. Now it's recommended that you actually roll this 3 times for optimal water protection. So if you just pump out the air and then roll the top down 3 times, clip it back in together, do up your straps and your handles, and there you have it, a nice bag. This actually works quite well in addition to your carry-on luggage. Most airlines will actually be okay with you having a separate accessory of a handbag size. This is my handbag. Now there are a few things that I love about this bag already. Number one is that it's bright yellow. So obviously if I'm going to be using this in water environments, there's a good chance that the reason I have this is because I'm not actually sure of my environment and how I'm going to look after my gear, which also means there's a good chance my gear could float away or fall off something. So by having it bright yellow means you can spot it really easily. So that is a handy feature, really useful. Other people would probably look at this and think it was maybe like a life jacket. It's very obviously water-based equipment in here, so that's a great feature. But also the product itself, the quality just feels amazing. Like the actual weather resistant waterproofing on here feels really, really top notch. So I've not actually used it properly in water, but I will be testing it out in New Zealand. So make sure you keep an eye out for those vlogs when they go live in the next few weeks or so when we reach there. Really looking forward to testing this out and using it. I think it's going to be a great addition to my camera bag, even though it is another bag. So next up is this little microphone. This is the RØDE VideoMic Me. Now I bought this because I wanted to improve the quality of some of my live streams that I'm doing on my Facebook page. So if you guys haven't already liked my Facebook page, then go and do so, and you'll catch live streams that I'm doing from my iPhone. So yeah, this is the VideoMic Me, and it's just got this Dead Kitten wind muffler on here. And this comes with it, which is actually quite a nice addition. It feels like a really good quality wind muffler. And then this is the microphone itself. Now the microphone fits right into your smartphone, and it's got this handy little attachment here so that you can actually get a solid connection to your phone and it's not going to be waving about and wobbling. This is very similar to the Video Micro that you get for DSLRs. In fact, it could actually be the same technology in here, just a slightly different output because it connects straight into the audio jack. Now, of course, if you're using an iPhone 7, you're probably not going to want to use this because it's using the headphone jack. You could connect it to your lightning adapter. However, that's going to be waving about a bit and you'll need to fix it somehow to your case. So I'm not sure what the best solution is for iPhone 7 users, but for those who use Android or those who have iPhone 6s and below, this is a great device for benefiting your live streams. Now, there is just one caveat you need to be aware of when using the VideoMic Me. If you have your cellular data turned on your phone, so your 4G, 3G connection, you may get some audio interference just because of the way that the antennas are designed on your phone, connecting with the waveforms in the microphone. You could get some popping and odd noises. So what's recommended when using the microphone is to do it in Wi-Fi only. You don't actually get any interference if you use Wi-Fi and the microphone together. Obviously that kind of limits where you can actually do your live broadcast. You can still use it on 4G and 3G, but just beware that your viewers may actually have some audio interference in the background. It's kind of annoying. So this is how it just connects into your phone. So using the headphone jack, we just pop it in, and then using the rubber attachment, you then just squeeze it together, and now we have a solid connection, and I can film with this with good directional audio, so it's not going to pick up any surrounding noise. It's always going to be directed to where the microphone's pointed. Likewise, if I switched it around and put it into selfie mode, now I can do my live broadcast and I can get good quality audio through here. If I wanted to monitor it, we have also got audio out there, so you can have a pass-through audio and you can listen with headphones, earphones, or whatever you're using. It's a nice run and gun situation, and these days smartphones are so good at doing video. This isn't necessarily just for live broadcast. You can also use this if you're making some film projects, and I would definitely recommend using your phone if you're contemplating starting in video and don't have a camera yet, because the quality of these is incredible. You can do so much on your phone before you even need to step up and buy extra gear. So keep that in mind. and also keep in mind good audio is just as important, if not more important than good video. All right, I need some water. It's very hot out here right now. By the way, I should probably include this. This is a water bottle that was given to me by the Institute of Code when I was there in Bali teaching web development recently. And I'd actually been looking at these quite a lot, so it's pretty good timing that they gave me one when we were there, just with my name on it, obviously. And they come in all sorts of different designs, and this is actually a phenomenal water bottle. It keeps cold things cold for hours, like literally hours. It maintains the temperature. And I imagine it will keep hot things hot for just as long. I've just not tested it yet. Bloody planes, so many planes. But yeah, I think this is a litre, which is just the right amount to be carrying. It's not too heavy when it's full up, and gives you a nice way to count how much water you're having throughout the day. By the way, if you guys are interested in learning web development, then go and check out my other video on my experience at the Institute of Code. I had a phenomenal time there. I was teaching a lot of web development. I was taking part in all the activities. And of course, I made great use of my time in Bali for photography. As an extra little attachment for the VideoMic Me from RØDE, I've also got this cable, which is a 4-pin to 3-pin adapter. And your smartphone has a lot more connectors in the actual headphone jack than a regular camera, because it's got things like microphone, left and right audio, and data selectors on your, the volume control and other things. So your smartphone has a much higher quality audio jack than a camera. Now, if I wanted to use that VideoMic Me in a camera, it wouldn't actually work because there's too many connectors that it has. Simple cable like this downgrades it. Oh my God, how loud are you? Who thought this was a good idea, doing it over the flight path? So a simple cable like this allows you to connect that VideoMic Me into a camera itself, and you can get the full use of the microphone. So if you are caught in a pinch and you need to use just the one microphone throughout the day, then you can use something like this. You would need to somehow attach that microphone to your camera, because obviously this is a flexi cable, but I've got some plans to try and rig up together using, I don't know, a small tube or maybe like a little pen lid or something, and just tape it together and have it poke out of the camera nice and solid. I've yet to test that, but it's up there in my brain. Next up on my list are these little guys. Now, these are some little bungee cords from Think Tank, and I actually first saw these in Philip Bloom's Instagram stories a couple of months back. If you guys don't know who Philip Bloom is, he's a filmmaker, director, cinematographer, whatever you want to label him as. He also has a phenomenal YouTube channel. Really, really insightful content. He's got years worth of experience in filmmaking. I highly look up to him for his content, and I love his tutorials and generally his just personality and sense of humor. He's a pretty great guy. He also happened to live around the corner from me in London, which is quite interesting. But anyway, so yeah, he first introduced me to these. These are the Think Tank Bungee Cords. I'm not sure the exact name for that. I'll put it in the description below. And they come in a pack of 10. They're pretty cheap. They're around $15, $10, something like that. And you never really know when you're going to use them, but since having them, I've actually used them a ton. You can connect them together, you could have them daisy chained so that you've actually got longer bungee extensions. They work great with my Pro Tactic bag because it's got all the loops on the outside, so I can hang extra stuff off of it. Philip uses them to hold down action cameras when they're stuck on windshields or stuck on something on a car, so that if ever the suction fails, you've got your bungee attached to it and you can maintain your camera equipment without losing it. I actually use it on my Zhiyun Crane to hold everything together when I don't have the case. So I just bungee it over like this, pull it tighter, and now everything's going to be held moderately secure. It's not going to be flapping about too much, and when I slot it into the side of my bag, there's no chance that's going to swing around and hit some child in the face or something like that. So save your children, get yourself some bungee cords. Honestly, it's sometimes the smallest little products that change the way that you shoot things, and you never actually know when you're going to need these. Plus, they're super cheap. So with all the traveling that I'm doing, and I'm actually on the road now for the next 5 months living out of my suitcase, I need to have some good storage options with hard drives. Now, you guys should already know about the G Drive EVs that I use. These connect up with my desktop unit, which has now been shipped back to London. But alongside having these, I also need to have some backup options for all of my footage that I'm using. So with my backup drives, I don't necessarily want to be spending as much as I do on my main performance drives. So I picked up a few of these. These are the Western Digital My Passport Ultras. and they are 2 terabytes in storage size. They're pretty small, great little weight, and they hold all of my backup photo and video work whilst I'm on the go. So I am actually traveling currently with about 6 different hard drives, which sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I'd love to have a hard drive that was larger than 2 terabytes for all of the video footage that I'm capturing. Technology's not quite there yet on portability. If anyone knows of some great portable drives that are larger than 2 terabytes, that don't break the bank too much, and are kind of small and portable, I'd love to hear about them. Obviously I know desktop drives exist, but being a traveler, I need to have them portable and connected with a bus interface. So my next product is something that I am so excited to be testing out and using. If you saw in December, you'll know that Fujifilm sent me an X-Pro2 for me to test out for about 4 weeks whilst I was traveling around Australia. Now they love the content so much, they've now sent me this. This is the X-T2 from Fujifilm with the booster grip as well. And I've got this for a whole 7 weeks whilst I'm traveling New Zealand, and this is going to become my primary camera to test out. I'm so excited to be using this. This is such a phenomenal camera. So I'm going to be doing some separate videos on this, and of course throughout all of the travel vlogs throughout New Zealand, this is going to be featuring very heavily. So make sure you go and check out those videos when they're live. I can't stress it enough how much this is going to be featured in that content. I'm going to be testing this as my main camera. I love the Fujifilm setup so much. If you saw that in my X-Pro2 videos, you'll know how excited I was to be using that. And now that I've got my hands on the X-T2, I can finally do some good comparison reviews as a main camera of choice. So yeah, really excited to be using this. This came with the 23mm f2 weather resistant lens, but they've also sent the 18-135 with the optical image stabilization. Now this is an f3.5 to 5.6, I think. Now at first I was kind of thinking, it's not quite that wide an aperture, but since using it a little bit and playing around with it, it's actually been a solid lens so far. I've only used it for a couple of days, but I'm looking forward to testing this out fully. And one thing that I love about Fujifilm is because all of their cameras are mirrorless and APS-C sized for now, the lenses themselves are very, very small and extremely portable. So this is great for the traveling photographer such as myself. When it comes to their medium format, the GFX 50S, there's actually going to be some new lenses that will work with those, so there'll be a slightly different format to these. But for their main X series cameras, such as the X-T2, the X-Pro2, X-T20, blah, 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 these are the lenses that they use, and they're just so nice and friendly for a traveler. I love that. So this is the 18-135, but there's also the 35mm 1.4. Now I'm going to be comparing this to Ellie's 35mm f2, which is actually a newer variant. One thing I've noticed so far with this is the autofocus is a little bit slow because it doesn't use the phase detection methods. It's still contrast based, so it kind of pops in and out, which is a little bit slow. But I may actually be using this majority of the time for video, and for all of my video I use manual focus, so it could actually be a great alternative for other lenses. And then to top it all off, there's this dinky little flash. How cute is this? I don't really use flashes, if ever, in my photography, but this doesn't weigh very much, so it's just going to sit in my bag, and if I need it, I've got it. So yeah, I am so excited to be shooting primarily with the Fujifilm X-T2. Ellie is also going to be traveling with her Fujifilm X-T10, so the blog content and the photos are going to look somewhat similar now, rather than the quite distinct difference between our Canon and Fujifilm photos. So that's going to be a heap of content, and I'm so excited to be using that. So whilst we're here talking about gear, and specifically camera gear, I just want to take a moment to remember a piece of equipment that was pretty special and has unfortunately now been discontinued. That is the humble trigger trap. This was a device that was used to connect your smartphone to your camera to do long exposures and other smart features. Recently I got an email from Haya, the company founder, to say that they've now discontinued and Trigger Trap is closing up. I am so sad to hear that, because I love Trigger Trap as a device. I used it a lot, I used it in a few of my videos, and it was just such a smart alternative to expensive intervalometers that gave you so much more options and flexibility for a multitude of cameras. So yeah, it was kind of with a heavy heart that I read that email that they've closed up. So I just wanted to take a moment to mention them in here, and Haya, if you're watching it, this was an incredible product, and good luck with your future work. I hope you can build on the success that you already had with this and make something that's just insanely good. One other product that is also technically a recent addition to my camera bag, that is the Manfrotto BeFree Live. Now that is a travel filmmaker tripod that was sent to me to produce some content and review it. You can see those videos on my channel. And I don't actually have it with me today, but it's a pretty cool little tripod, and you can create some nice panning, tilting video shots whilst you're out on the move. Now I needed to travel extremely light, so I've actually got my carbon fiber version of my BeFree tripod, and I've had to sacrifice the BeFree Live, which has now gone back to London. But when I'm back in London, I'll be using it a lot more and creating some content. So go and check out my other videos where I reviewed that and made a video on the Blender Lane Artist Market. All right, so the final product, bit of a bonus product. This is not so much photography related, but it's something that has been really helping me with planning my content and planning my work whilst on the go. I've recently got into the habit of documenting my work day and journaling what I'm doing on a physical notebook. So I used to do a lot of notes and scraps on pieces of paper throughout my desk and never really collected it together. But as of January, I picked up this Moleskine notebook just to kind of like hold all of my thoughts and my plans and everything together. I'm sort of following the idea of bullet journaling. If you don't know what that is, then Google it. It's a pretty new idea of how you could actually diary your work using a fully manual setup. So you're not actually buying an existing journal or planner, you're kind of creating your own so that you can have more days for some months if you're busier, less days for others if you don't need it. So what's nice about this journal, first of all, I've gone for a soft cover because again, I'm traveling, so I'd need the lower weight, but also so I can just throw it into a bag nice and easy. It's got a dotted print on here. It's not lined, it's not squared. The dots are something that I've used a lot in the past for design work, and having it as a notepad is extremely useful because I can sketch out ideas. I can also write nice and tidy on the lines because I've got terrible handwriting. But also I can draw out my own calendar planners when I need them rather than having to focus on the pages that already exist. So yeah, I'm literally just writing out lists of content, and this has become my daily Bible, I guess, of all of my work and everything that I'm up to. It's got a lot of secrets in here. Not really. Okay, so that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you wanted to know more about any of the products, then make sure you read the description. They're going to be all listed there with links to purchase them from the US or from the UK. Now, just a little side note, I do actually get a little helping hand if you click through those links. They are uniquely affiliated to myself. You get the best price available, and I get a little helping hand to make sure these videos are possible. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up. Let's try and get this one to 500 likes. Let's see if this is possible. And also make sure you share this video with some of your friends. So my channel is all about sharing the travel experience and sharing my tips and knowledge with photography and filmmaking. So it only makes sense for you guys to then share that with other people who you're also experiencing travel, photography, and filmmaking with. Likewise, go and follow me across social media. I'm absolutely loving Instagram stories right now. I'm posting more and more daily stories and having a lot of fun with it. So if you want to get some extra behind the scenes content, then go and follow me on Instagram at Allam. Likewise on Twitter, I'm always posting various thoughts throughout the day whilst traveling. So yeah, that's everything from me. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want to catch future updates, and tick that little bell icon, you'll get notifications. I'm not sure when I'm going to be publishing the next few videos. I don't think I'm going to be able to stick to my regular Saturday uploads whilst I'm traveling, just because I don't know where my internet's going to come from, especially in New Zealand. So by having notifications on, you'll be able to catch them when they go live. And yeah, it's going to be an awesome few months. I can't wait to use all of this equipment out in the field, and I will see you again soon. Cool, all right, that's a wrap. I'm going off this roof. That is a dark cloud ahead of me, and I'm not sure if it's going to rain, so I'm going to clear up and head on out. So, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Bye-bye.